is an Unspoiled Network podcast.
This is Unscrupled, covering Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 6, Episodes 1 and 2, Bargaining. In these episodes, Willow scares me again. Welcome to Unscrupled. Hey, I have an explanation for what happened the other day.
What?
I think Willow turned off our computer because she was mad about us talking shit about her.
Willow, don't be a bitch.
That seems exactly the kind of petty thing a techno witch would do, you know? You're recording a podcast talking shit about me, I'm going to shut it down and ruin your recording.
Yeah, well, it worked, and Willow, don't play like this. We can talk it out.
So, yeah, hi guys, this is the second time we're trying to record this episode because we kind of rage quit after the computer randomly decided to shut down. So,
yeah,
in the middle of recording with no warning.
That was dick.
Yeah, so, yeah, anyway, Buffy's back.
Buffy's back!
And she came back just as quickly as I thought she would.
Well, hey, they had a whole episode without her.
Right. No, they didn't. She was in the coffin.
Okay, yeah.
And there was BuffyBot, so Sarah Michelle Gellar was around.
Well,
so.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle was around, but they had a whole episode where Buffy was still dead, and you had to think to yourself, she just gonna stay dead? Is this the Willow and Tara show now?
I would totally watch the Willow and Tara show.
Yeah.
I mean, it would probably be on Skinamax, but... Because I know how Joss thinks.
I would watch that show, hell yeah.
Yeah, I would too. We open with them patrolling. The Scooby Gang has found a new leader. And it's Willow.
And it's Magic Willow. And
also,
she's competent.
She also knows how to delegate.
Yeah, she does.
That's such an important skill for a leader.
Something Buffy never did. It's
right.
Always like, no, you guys will get hurt. I must go in alone. And everyone going like, Buffy, every time you do that, it goes poorly. Can we just like...
Well, the one time she did do that, she got killed.
Yeah.
So...
yeah.
So maybe she's just bad at it.
Actually,
anyway.
The 2 times she did that, she got killed.
Yeah, so, yeah, Buffy's been dead a couple times.
Yeah, she has.
All right, so... Willow is on the roof of a mausoleum barking orders to everyone as they chase down this massive vampire.
Yeah, he was really big.
I feel like he's a football player because I have never seen a 350-pound man move like that before.
Well, stunt guys.
Yeah, but still.
Vampire stunt guy. He'd be unstoppable.
I kind of hope this show didn't have separate vampire stunt people. They just hired the stunt people and paid them what actors are supposed to make. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah. And he's giving them some trouble. So we have Spike and Tara fucking shit up while Willow is doing her telepathic order barking. So now she's telepathic and she's telekinetic. Yeah. This is scary.
If only she could start fires with her mind.
Oh, that's low-level stuff.
Fine.
Yeah. Anyway, it scares me, although, they did seem to have some trouble with the vampire, and then Anya and Xander show up and are very confused at being barked orders in their mind.
Well, I feel, yeah, they're confused, and Xander, at the very least, is quite upset. He considers that private space. Don't know why.
I agree with Xander.
Oh, yeah, Xander's totally on
There's
point.
some consent issues they need to explore here, but they're not going to, because this is Buffy.
Well, they're not going to on screen. I have a feeling, off camera, Xander sits Willow down and says, so stay the hell out of my mind, specifically during these hours.
Right. Yeah. Now, they kill the vampire, and it requires quite a bit of, teamwork.
Yeah, Spike has to light him on fire.
Mm-hmm. And we get an assist from the BuffyBot.
Yeah, who is not the best, but better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She seems to have degraded a bit since she got her head chopped off.
Well, Willow's been mucking about in her programming, so who the hell knows what she took out and put in.
Also, everyone got their hair straightened.
Yes.
Including dead Buffy.
Yes, everyone got their heads straightened and everyone got some new clothes.
Yeah. Everyone's dressing like an adult. I'm like, is this the same show?
It's, what happens when you go through some shit over the summer. You apparently buy a new wardrobe. Mm-hmm. That's how they cope.
Yeah, so BuffyBot is not good at puns, apparently, or jokes, or coherence.
Well, isn't that the classic test of a robot? Isn't that the Turing test? Something like art or jokes that machines can't understand because they don't make logical sense.
I don't know. Possibly. I thought the Turing test was, can you convince a human that they're talking to another human?
Well, that's part of it. It's how can you tell if something's a machine? And the answer is, you ask them things that are going to be off script. And if they have a really big script, like the entirety of human knowledge, then you have to throw them off with things that don't make logical sense.
Okay.
Like jokes and poetry.
All right. But the real reason for BuffyBot being there is so that we can see Spike being pissy that BuffyBot is not Buffy.
He's not so much pissy as he is ashamed.
You think so?
And sad? Because he has to, look at her stupid face all the time, knowing that it's never going to be the woman he loves. But she's so close and yet so far. And he also has to deal with the fact that he tried to make that robot Buffy.
Also, he fucked it.
He fucked it a lot. Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. I mean, it's probably not clean even now.
Do vampires come?
Of course they do. There's so much fanfic about it.
We don't know. We know they don't breathe, but...
Fill me with your cold, dead seed, Angel.
Okay, I'm cutting that out because it's going to haunt me.
No, you're not.
Those are words you shouldn't say before heading to a wedding.
Well...
You don't bring that kind of energy.
With my friends.
Are you going to a vampire wedding?
No.
Is that why it's at 9 p.m. in the mausoleum?
It's a zombie jamboree, okay? Jeez.
Yeah, so BuffyBot is not as good as she once was, and we, in our first recording, we had a little argument, which I don't want to repeat, but I'm like, Willow, take it apart, learn to make more.
Okay, where are you going to get those parts?
Steal them? Who cares?
They're ready-made. I think Warren had a manufacturer.
Okay. Get into his head. And find out what he did with them. Find his password and get his credit card numbers and order.
Now is not the time to do a Warren manhunt.
I feel like a witch of her power could find Warren, get what she needs, and make him pay for it too. She could steal his credit card numbers in his head. And he has it coming. At
this point, Willow is powerful enough that she could rule all of California, but she's not doing that either. And she's kind of laser focused on raising Buffy from the dead. They go over why, too. Did you catch that?
I didn't. Why are they doing this?
Willow is terrified that Buffy's trapped in a hell dimension.
Oh, that's right.
Angel was.
Yeah.
And that she's waiting for someone to save her, and that Willow feels like she's already taken too much time.
Okay. That's a good thing to be worried about.
Yeah, especially since Buffy literally jumped into a portal to hell dimensions.
Yeah, but she came back out again.
Her body did.
Yeah. So, I don't, they're not very clear on the rules of hell and how things work. Can you accidentally, what if, let's say, Gunn showed up from their, excursion to, Ogreland and he was dead and his soul was trapped in Ogreland?
Guys, I still haven't seen that show.
What?
Whatever you're talking about.
I'm talking about Angel last year.
Oh, okay.
Last season finale. They were in another dimension.
Yeah, they were in Pylea.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Gunn had been trapped in Pylea.
I feel like Gunn would make an excellent ruler. Sorry. We'll talk about that later, but...
Yes.
He's missed his calling.
He ran his crew pretty shoddily.
Yeah, but he's educated in history and knows the history of Reconstruction and how it ended prematurely before we killed all the slave owners. So
okay, moving right along before the South rises up against us. So what did you think of their plan to resurrect Buffy. Seems a bit more thought out than Dawn's plan to resurrect Joyce.
Yes, but, like, that's... I don't know. Dawn's plan to resurrect Joyce didn't take as much. They only had to steal some eggs, remember?
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't any personal pain like what Willow has to go through.
Yeah. I feel like that makes the whole egg resurrection less valid and less likely to work.
Maybe, but to me it also feels like you're asking favors of a petty, vindictive god.
Aren't they all petty and vindictive?
I don't know. I've only met a couple of them.
Okay.
So, the oracles weren't petty or vindictive.
They were super petty. They're like, give me your watch.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah. You must present a gift before we'll talk to you.
Oh, that's protocol, manners. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know, Osiris, was it Osiris or Anubis? Osiris was the urn that they procured, and just Osiris's requirements seem very sadistic and for his or her own pleasure. I don't even know if Osiris is male or female or even knows what gender is. So,
well, Osiris was traditionally the last pharaoh, so the answer to gender is maybe.
Okay. Yeah. We need to talk about BuffyBot and the living situation though.
Okay, yeah, that's actually very true. So BuffyBot is playing the role of Buffy Summers Light in the household, and they kind of give her jobs to do, like make sandwiches, and try to let her help out around the house while constantly lying to her.
And not answer the phone.
And not answer the phone, because she's bad at the phone, and I can see why.
But Willow and Tara have taken over the master bedroom.
Yeah, they moved into Joyce's place, and on the last one we had a little conversation about why that's weird for me.
It's not weird for me, it is for you, because, like, you see your parents/grandparents' bedroom as some kind of sacred place.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just a room.
The room which thou does not fuck with.
In my parents' house, they have a giant television from the early 1980s. Like, it's one of those, like, it's kind of like the one you, like, took apart and were using as a TV stand.
Yeah.
But, like, this one was even nicer, which meant it was even heavier. So it is now, like, it no longer works. Or it may work, it's just too old to bother with. Yeah. And now it's just a nightstand with a blanket over it. So.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just this giant, heavy, wood-paneled television that is too heavy to get out.
Just remember, guys, don't buy heavy furniture as infrastructure for your technology, because that technology will change.
Yes. Which is why we don't have any furniture. Everything's on milk crates.
And my grandma's thing.
Yes.
Anyway, that one thing that used to house a TV is now a place where a TV sits.
Yes.
But we gutted it so it could be useful again. And it's sharp inside. Don't do that, guys.
Yeah, I have a couple scars from it.
Well, you shouldn't have been fucking it.
But yeah, they're doing the primary parenting duties, and they're keeping BuffyBot in line and making sure Dawn does her homework, and Xander drops by every once in a while. Yeah. So Willow, of all of the characters, has gone through this massive spout of character growth.
Yes.
Because I'm remembering her at the beginning when she was just
a girl.
She was just like a whiny little girl who was really lonely and had friends that didn't have names and wear the sweaters.
Yeah, there were sweaters and little jumper dresses that were obviously bought at Sears. And yeah, she was just this little girl, and now look, it's 4 years later.
I'm just remembering
6 years later, fuck.
Her worrying about what her Jewish parents are going to think with all the crosses they have. She has up in her room. Yeah. To re-sanctify a house so that a vampire can't get back in. And I'm like, wow, this Willow would not give any shits.
Yeah. Well, this Willow hasn't had contact with her parents for a hot minute.
That's fair. Have we even seen her parents?
Her parents just kind of fell by the wayside once she got to college. They were never super into her in the first place. There wasn't that one episode where, with the dead children, where you get to see her mom and she's like laser focused on anything but Willow.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, so Willow has done a lot. And I really do kind of want the Willow show now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still mad about Willow not having anything to do till the very end of last season.
Yeah.
So.
This is why Allison Hannigan still gets work.
Yeah.
Like, this shit right here.
I legit like Allison Hannigan. Like, I'd only ever seen her in American Pie. And then How I Met Your Mother. She was fine, but, you know.
This is where it all began.
I see it now, where, like, Allison Hannigan, like, she looks kind of demure, but on every other role, but she's also, under that, she's super strong and very sexually both dominant and open, and has a hidden mean streak. And I'm like, okay, she's just playing Willow for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
But this Willow here.
Yeah. This grown-up Willow.
Right.
And and it's a really appealing character, so I can totally see why movie and show makers keep reproducing it.
Right.
And she is so good at it.
Right. Yeah, she's one of the great things about How I Met Your Mother is like how she's got this street rep. She's like this 5'3" woman who's dating a 6'4" man.
Yeah.
And she walks down the street and everyone, like, muggers come up to her husband and she walks up and they scatter. Because they remember her when she was a teenager.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have not seen that.
Don't
I've
bother.
seen some of that show, but yeah. It would be a great show if they just got rid of that main dude.
Yeah. Can one of you internet people who have too much time on your hands just, like,
Delete
how our friends met each other so that we don't have to deal with fucking Ted.
Yeah, just erase Ted from the show. Kind of like Garfield without Garfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it'd be funny. You could put anything in his place. You could put a teddy bear or a board with a frown painted on it.
I have a better idea.
What?
Another woman.
Yeah.
You know, a friend group with more women than men?
Holy mackerel.
Yeah. So, where the fuck were we? Oh, Willow's grown up. Willow's taking responsibility.
And has been elected boss of us.
All right. I have to call bullshit, though.
Yeah.
When she makes all the sandwiches.
Yeah.
Nobody has that much bread in their house at once. At the most, you've got 2 loaves.
We do right now.
Well, that's because those are like ciabatta rolls and shit.
Yeah.
Those are not sandwich bread.
That's true.
So.
But, okay, yeah.
Also, other roommate had, like, she went to, like, apparently her grandma went to a wedding thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, here, have some bread. And this is, like, a fourth of the bread that was left over. So we have these giant bags of, like, rolls and shit. And I'm like,
yeah.
Other roommate, what exactly are we going to do with all this bread? And she says, we could make croutons. And I'm like, what?
Well, I had a Hawaiian roll last night and it was a delight. So
yeah, they're great, but, like, we have to eat that shit fast.
I'm gonna make it work.
Okay.
Actually, I'll probably take it to work.
I think we're gonna need to get one of those giant tubs from the garage, just so we can seal them airtight and they don't get stale.
Those tubs from the garage are not airtight.
Fuck.
They're big enough for a toddler. You can't make them airtight. Anyway, you can make them, tight, but not airtight. Anyway, back to Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Willow and the gang are psyching Dawn up for her first day of school and trying to prepare the BuffyBot for the parent-teacher night that's gonna happen in conjunction with that first day of school. I don't remember it being timed like that, but whatever.
She accidentally has a, she fucks it up so hard that it spins back around and she nails it.
Yeah.
So she starts a mutiny over the quality of school food.
Which is admittedly horrific.
Now, since our last conversation, like I mentioned this, guys, schools are a dumping ground for the really low quality food because it's one step above dog food because you can, basically, schools are a captive market. They have budgets they need to keep in, so you can sell a lot of your trash food for a decent lump sum.
And kids can't complain in a way that's going to be heard.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I've learned that they've done something very different since then. I don't know how widespread it is, but now they've started installing Burger Kings and Pizza Huts in school cafeterias.
Ooh, I would have loved that when I was a kid.
Yeah, but it's
that's
also
badass. But I remember what we were like in college, where every meal we could afford was Wendy's or Panda Express, because that's what we had available.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't give kids candy as an option. They're gonna choose candy every time.
So, yeah, that's even more depressing. So, yeah. Anyway, she starts a mutiny over the school food.
It's okay. We won't need thin people in the future.
Right. Yeah. And so they're keeping this from Spike and Dawn and Giles, but they're planning on resurrecting Buffy.
Yeah, and I think they were right to keep it a secret. Too many cooks.
That's fair. Yeah. I feel like there were already too many cooks. Why did you need Xander and Anya?
To bear witness. I don't know. Light those fucking candles. There's too many candles to do this by midnight.
Yeah. And then we have a scene of Willow slaughtering a fawn on a lake.
Wait, what?
You don't remember that?
Wait, what?
Willow is sitting out in the grass, all by herself.
Oh.
And she, beckons a deer over.
That's where she got the blood
cuts its heart
from.
out. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That was fucking brutal.
Willow is serious about saving Buffy from a hell dimension. She doesn't give a fuck what Bambi wants.
That's very true. And, only death can bring life. So, this makes sense. It was just kind of brutal. But you know why I was mad at her?
Why?
She wore white.
Yeah, that's not gonna come out.
Nope.
No. And I know a lot about getting blood out.
Maybe she also has to, that's why everyone says, men kill more than women. We don't know that. Women are just better at getting blood out of clothes.
It is true. And it's so funny when, you get a guy who's new, who doesn't understand, who's like, wait, why are women all good at this? It's like, thank you, asshole.
Yeah.
It's because we killed our parents.
Right.
Yeah.
But Willow, maybe she also has to sacrifice something of hers, so she put on her favorite outfit. I mean, I feel like Osiris would require at least something personal in the giving.
He required pain. Isn't that personal enough?
But pain is temporary.
Snake vomiting lasts forever.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're planning to resurrect Buffy, and we get them gathering around the gravesite at night, and Willow summons Osiris.
Yeah, she does. With the very last urn of Osiris that Anya got off eBay because she's resourceful as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I feel like eBay would really kill the magic shop business.
Yeah.
It wasn't that widespread back then because the internet was still kind of clunky and not that easy to use. So
it's like Target. I mean, yes, I can order the same thing online and not have to go to Target, but sometimes I need it right now.
Mm-hmm.
So when you need your witch's brew stuff things right the fuck now, those extra candles, that hunk of herbs, you go to the magic shop. When you need it, for next Tuesday, you get it for half price on Amazon.
Amazon is killing mom and pop witch stores.
Millennials are killing mom and pop witch stores.
That's because millennials can't afford witching products.
Well, if we raise the minimum wage, the millennials could be witches too.
Yes. All right. This is a pretty brutal scene where Willow is required to cut her skin multiple times.
Yeah.
And vomit up a snake.
And have, I don't, weevils under her skin or something?
I think that was the snake.
Oh, it was
just
lumps,
winding its way through.
But there were lumps. I think it might have been hamsters
but the lumps
in there
moved
with them.
up.
That's true.
So he was looking for the way out.
Well, he found it,
yep.
And that's a good thing. And, yeah, good thing Tara was there to explain to the Scooby Gang that she was being tested, and we needed to let her vomit snakes.
Right, and she said, don't interfere no matter what happens.
And I think Xander and Anya were rightfully dismayed and were totally justified when they said, you couldn't have warned us about this shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, like, Osiris, from the nature of this ritual, it feels like there is no way if you warn them about something, he'd throw something totally different.
Yeah, but they didn't warn them that Willow would be tested at all and that some fucked up shit was about to happen. They're used to the effects of spells being like a creepy wind and maybe some sparkles.
Please check out Unspoiled Podcast's sponsor for this episode, Mongoose Dog Designs. Mongoose Dog Designs is where fiber art and your geeky imagination come together. Come check out our hand-crocheted Nintendo, Pokemon, and Lovecraft characters, or order a custom item to rep your favorite fandom from Harry Potter to Doctor Who. With an array of ideas and a willingness to bring what you want to life, Mongoose Dog Designs is here to make it happen. We even make wearable items like wristbands and hats. Use offer code UNSPOILED and Mongoose Dog Designs will donate 20% of your order to the Unspoiled Podcast Network to help support the show find a bigger audience. You can find them at facebook.com/Mongoose Dog Designs or etsy.com/shop/Mongoose Dog Designs. Thank you so much, and on with the show.
Meanwhile, BuffyBot has a run-in with a vampire.
Yeah.
Who gets away. But not before damaging her and exposing her shiny glitter circuits.
Yeah. So, she's about to be outed as a robot.
Right.
This son of a bitch goes to the local Bad Things bar and starts talking
I don't think that's the local Bad Things bar. I think that one's in L.A.
Okay, so he goes to a Bad Things bar in another town.
Right. And spills his guts, and a demon biker gang, which there definitely need to be more of.
Well, yeah, they're pretty badass.
Yeah. Kill him and then decide, okay, so now that we know that the Slayer isn't around, we're going to go take over Sunnydale because there's a power vacuum.
Yeah, we can fuck shit up on the Hellmouth.
And they decide to go fuck shit up on the Hellmouth.
Let's ride.
Yeah. I'm not entirely sure what their goals are.
Fuck shit up on the Hellmouth.
Right. And
Step
rape people.
2, who's to say? Step 3, profit.
Yeah. So they break a bunch of windows. Spike and Dawn decide to blow before they start breaking into her house.
That seems wise.
Uh-huh. They get accosted by someone with a shotgun. No, that wasn't them.
No.
That was later.
Spike rips one of the demon guys off of his bike and absconds with it and Dawn.
That was kind of cool.
That was pretty cool.
Also, Spike made her wear the helmet.
Yeah. Which
is really...
Spike is a weirdly good dad.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
So yeah, these demons are fucking everything up, and they manage to damage BuffyBot again, who runs back to Willow, and Willow is vomiting up a snake when she says, "Hi, Willow, I need servicing."
And they're like, "Piss off! We can't right now! We're in the middle of something!"
And yeah, and then one of the demons runs over the urn of Osiris.
Yeah. And Willow screams like she just lost her best friend.
Mm-hmm. Which is true again.
Yeah.
Like, that's really frustrating, and I'm glad they laid it in that Mercury has to be in retrograde, and it has to be a blood moon, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot going on with the choosing the date. It can't just be any old night with
they're extremely lucky that Buffy died when she did, that they only had to wait a couple months.
Because blood moons are hard to come by. Sorry, guys, it's morning.
Yeah, it's like 11 in the morning, and we were up late last night watching all of the Pitch Perfects.
Yeah. The third one went a little off the rails, but I enjoyed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we go into episode 2, because Buffy is alive at this point, but the Scooby Gang is now fighting this biker gang of demons.
Yes, and failing at it. They're running away a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and BuffyBot's getting into trouble.
Yeah, so the biker gang finds the BuffyBot and decides to make an example of her.
Yeah, that was traumatic, guys.
Yeah, especially because, well, the person that sees that happen
is Buffy.
It's Buffy. After she has woken up in her grave and clawed her way to the surface, guys. What the fuck? They didn't think about this? You bring her back to life. Where's she gonna be?
I kind of figured, like, they had a shovel, but within all the chaos, and they didn't know that it worked.
Well, yeah.
Like, I don't think they had planned on leaving her there. They just had no way of knowing that she was alive.
But they hadn't dug her up yet. They were gonna resurrect her, and it's like, knock twice if you're alive, and 3 times if you're not!
Okay. They probably should have dug her up first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Buffy got a haircut before she went under.
Yeah, she got a whole style thing there. Like, she did not look like normal Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
And that dress, oh my god, who wears black to their own funeral?
Oh, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
But I've only been to 3 funerals in my life, and only once have I seen the corpse.
Yeah.
And it was a man, and he was wearing a black suit, so I didn't think about it. Like, what do they normally bury women in?
So I'm Catholic, so I've seen a lot of open casket, and the answer is a nice little dress. Not black, something cheery that they would have worn in life, because they're all done up, and it's the last time you're gonna see them.
Mm-hmm.
It's formal, but not like I'm at my own funeral. God
Okay.
damn it.
So,
I see a lot of lavender.
not a slutty cocktail dress, then.
No, nothing that velcros. Yeah.
Breakaways.
No breakaways. Yeah, so
I want to be buried in breakaways now.
I'll make sure it happens.
So if I come back as a zombie, I can go...
Your kilt kind of counts.
No, it doesn't, because it needs a belt.
Okay.
Well,
fine. Anyway, so yeah, Buffy wakes
if you bury me in my kilt, I want you to stand me up on an air vent so I can Marilyn Monroe during the eulogy.
Okay, we can arrange that. Okay. So, yeah, Buffy wakes up in the grave, figures out what the fuck's going on, claws her way out, is in deep shock, and walks around Sunnydale, which previously, like 5 hours before, had been its normal self, but is now a torn hellscape filled with demon marauders.
And I just thought of, like, what that has to be like for Buffy, like, waking up from the dead after a couple months and realizing this is what the world looks like, and now I'm drawing parallels to the Wishverse.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, it's like, everything went to shit without me, obviously. Well, I kind of figured it would, but I don't want to be here. I can't put this toothpaste back in the box.
Yeah. So we watched the biker gang do this incredibly horrific act where they tie the BuffyBot's limbs to ropes, and then all 4 of them ride their bikes away at the same time.
They draw and quarter her.
Yeah. That was uncalled for.
The BuffyBot takes it like a champ, too.
Well, I mean, she feels no pain, which is a good thing.
Yeah, but she does feel that something's wrong, which is kind of like pain. You know, it's that error message you can't turn off.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is like... I have a lot of sympathy for machines, like, even in the real world, because, like... I mean, who's to say they're not, like, feeling things because we programmed them to do exactly that?
Our AI is getting better and better every day.
No, our AI is getting worse. I'm like, this laptop right here, I would be sad if it got drawn and quartered. If the Facebook algorithm did, no, it's getting stupider and stupider.
Okay, cool. And yes, I've named.
How many ads for a second engagement ring did you see?
A lot.
See? They're dumb.
I'm getting more for wedding rings, though, so they're not that dumb.
They're dumb enough. Like, I bought a toilet seat to replace before I left my last apartment.
Yeah.
Toilet seat ads for months everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Don't ever Google breathalyzers, guys. If you get curious and be like, what would it like to, like, own a breathalyzer and just, test ourselves at, like, a fun party thing? The answer is don't Google them because you will never stop getting breathalyzer ads and only breathalyzer ads.
You don't
for
even get
like 6
rehab
months.
ads?
No, just breathalyzers. Different kinds, different shapes, different colors.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I made the mistake once. Never again.
The internet is a monster. So, yeah, BuffyBot gets drawn and quartered, and poor, recently risen Buffy has to witness it.
Yeah, and I mean, if she wasn't fucked up before that, that's gonna mess with you. I mean, even if she was, like, completely stable, that would fuck with your shit.
Mm-hmm. Watching a clone of yourself being torn apart.
Mm-hmm. And she is not at her best right now, as evidenced when they all find each other and she kind of runs away from the vampires who are trying to kill her friends, who she doesn't really recognize exactly.
Right. She's still not... I don't think she's really sure, like...
That
I feel like she was...
is real?
Yeah, I feel like she was in some kind of afterlife dimension, and then it all got torn away, and now she's in this other thing where she doesn't recognize anything. So... It totally makes sense that Buffy would have no idea what the fuck is going on. Like, this is... Like, what if she was in a heaven dimension and then got yanked here?
Oh god, that would be
And now,
fucked up.
like, her entire town is destroyed. She can't find her sister. She just watched herself be drawn in quarters. And then she runs into her best friends. How exactly are you going to say, oh, this is a good thing that has happened?
Oh, yeah.
Like, there are only good things to happen when I see these people I love right now.
Maybe they'll be killed in front of me. And look, someone's trying!
And someone's trying to rape them.
Yay! And yeah, brutally awful. Yeah, that was pretty unnecessary, I thought. But whatever. Yeah, so she does kill herself a few demons, and...
It takes her a bit to snap out of it.
Yeah, I feel like she was fighting on reflex.
Mm-hmm.
And then she runs out into the alley and looks up and sees that hideous tower that's still standing there like 3 months later.
Oh, that's right,
and she decides that that's where she needs to be because that's the last thing she remembers.
Before we get there, I want to talk about, what's her name? Oh, Anya's moment of badassery.
Okay.
Where she stabbed the lady demon in the back with an axe.
Yes!
So, like...
My first axe?
Not Anya, sorry, Tara. I'm getting those confused because the longer the show goes on, the more they look alike.
A little bit, yeah.
Because they've kind of standardized the young 20s wardrobe for all of them, and they both got their hair straightened, and they're both the same shade of blonde. So
they kind of are. Anya's got a little bit more corn silk, but yeah. So yeah, Tara sees that Willow is being attacked and puts an axe in the back of a demon. It's pretty fucking awesome.
I legit clapped.
Yeah.
And, like, it took me a moment, because, like, that moment slowed the fuck down when I'm like, there's an axe in his back. Please be Tara. Please be Tara. Please be Tara. Please. Yes, it's Tara.
Yeah, and then she gets a great line. No one messes with my girl.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Right. So, now Buffy decides to go climb this fucking tower.
Yeah, she is.
And Dawn does as well.
Well, she sees Buffy going up there, and she's nobody's fool.
Right.
Well, okay, she's pretty much a fool, but yeah, she's not that stupid. Stupid enough to go up the rickety tower, though.
Mm-hmm.
And there she and Buffy, she has a heartfelt plea session with Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like she's spending a lot of time on towers crying and pleading with Buffy. That's like her minor now. So what did you think of this speech?
The speech was fine. I don't think I'm really here for Buffy spending 10 minutes remembering shit that happened last year.
Well, remember, for the rest of the world, it had been an entire summer of reruns in between season 5 and 6.
It doesn't seem to fit with Buffy's personality very well.
Okay, yeah.
Like, Buffy has been through so much traumatic shit in her time that she'd be like, oh yeah, this is what happened. I'd be fine if it was like, it took her a minute to remember and then she has to save Dawn, but no, there's this whole drawn out, please don't jump, I need you. This is what happened. Oh yes, I jumped off and I died.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was too long, if you ask me.
Okay, that's totally fair. But in the end, Dawn convinces Buffy to come off the tower that was made by crazy people and probably going to collapse soon.
Mm-hmm. So, and it does collapse. So
yeah, it does. Good timing there, Dawn.
Right, and there's a winch for some reason.
Oh, why wouldn't there be?
Because it would have been really helpful in the fight against Glory.
Had they used the winch? Instead?
Yeah, if she'd done like, I'm going to cut the rope so that I swing all the way to the top instead of having to fight her way up with a hammer.
Right. Just do the chandelier trick, Buffy. Fuck.
Exactly.
Have pirate movies taught us nothing?
Mm-hmm. Has there been a chandelier trick in this show yet?
Not yet.
It feels like something that's very up Joss's alley.
I feel like it's so up Joss's alley that he'll never use it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, they use the reverse chandelier trick and then land and then dodge a giant plank.
Yep.
So.
And then run off into the night, and I think that's where we get left.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So Spike doesn't have a whole lot to do other than to beat up other demons.
And look sad.
Right. He is being a good babysitter.
He really is.
Uh-huh. Oh, we haven't talked about Xander and Anya's little moment of angst.
Oh, yeah. Anya's really concerned because they haven't told anyone that they're getting married. And Xander's just like, baby, it's not the time. We're fucking doing shit here. And she's like, but it's so dark. Maybe it would make everyone happy. And can I please, get to be happy about this ever?
I'm actually on Anya's side.
No, Anya's 100% right.
It's been 3 months, guys.
They should never have kept it a secret.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, yes, there is that week after Buffy died. It's like, you know what, guys, in honor of, after the wake, you say, we need you guys to know something. And even though Buffy's gone, happiness still exists in the world, and we're going to get some of it.
Mm-hmm.
And we want you guys to join us.
Yeah.
On our special day.
Mm-hmm.
It's that easy, Xander. Man up.
Yeah. It's really dumb. Also, Giles is gone.
Yeah, Giles bailed and went to London to England to go be English. And Anya had some angst about that, too. She didn't want him to go exactly, but she wanted to get to run the store. So she's like, you keep saying you're going to leave, but you're not leaving. The fuck, man.
Right.
And I feel Anya on that one, too. She could have been nicer about it, but really?
Do you think Xander and Anya would buy him out so that, she could own it?
I don't think Giles is ready for that.
Okay. And
I don't think that Anya has enough capital for that. Xander might in a year or two. Mm-hmm. But I think that thing where once you get your first good job, you have to spend yourself some time digging out of poverty.
Mm-hmm.
I think Xander's still digging out of poverty.
Okay. I don't know. It was the early aughts. There were still construction unions. I feel like in the 2 years he's probably on a comfortable scale at this point. Okay, then he's probably just comfortable. He probably doesn't have a nest egg. That's fair. But there's also the problem of, I've read some articles about people who grow up in poverty have trouble holding on to money because it's part of that mindset is I have money, it will be gone at some point. I need to use it before it's gone. Yeah. So. I do it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Anyway. So, what do you think is going to happen in the future? I don't know. There's not really any threads to hold on to. The only things I can really say going forward will be an issue. I feel like Willow and Buffy's authority is going to clash. And there's not going to be, there's no adult influence to rule one way or the other with Giles gone. Yeah, there's no ultra adult. Because they're both adulties now. What do you think Spike's reaction is going to be when he sees Buffy alive? I don't know. Spike is so... He's a very different character than we got in season 2. He is, but he's also been through the point where it feels like what we're going to get is Spike not saying anything and just holding it all to himself, which is kind of what we had last year. So I can't really get excited about, like, what kind of drama is this going to mean for Buffy and Spike. Unless she decides to fuck him, which I hope doesn't happen. Yeah. I don't know.
All right. How do you think Buffy's just going to bounce back? Do you think she's going to get some therapy?
2 years ago, I would have said she's going to be back to normal soon.
Okay.
I think this is going to take her a while.
All right.
This is going to be, like, traumatic, and she's going to have some resentment about coming back. Because they took her choice from her.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I think this is going to be a big fight between Willow and Buffy. That's where I see the season going. Because I don't know how you lay out this authoritative Willow and then bring Buffy back and expect this not to be conflict.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be... I could totally see there being some kind of issue with that, shall we say.
Do you want to know something that I'm really happy about?
What?
Angel didn't show up.
Yeah!
It's not just that, like, I don't like Angel and I don't like Angel and Buffy, but this isn't about any of that. This is about the show moving on from Angel and Buffy.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad they did that. Like, Angel has sort of moved on and Buffy has sort of moved on, and that's fine. I need the show to get over these two.
Yeah.
So.
Because, yeah, they've done a lot of work, but that whole thing where they have set up where Angel is Buffy's soulmate, no!
It's terrible.
That's not how that works. You don't meet your soulmate when you're 16.
Also, which soul? Because he's had 3 separate souls in him now.
Yeah, I think the one keeps coming back, so I think it just takes vacations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, guys, let's have some new patrons.
Yeah.
Corinne Grimm, Nicole Stroda, Robin Christine Farrell, Max Getkin, Katie O'Reilly, Nicholas Lindsay, Jeff Richardson, Denise Atwood, Leslie Packard, Jess Day, Maya Gray, Stephanie Thompson, and Rosa Masso. So welcome, guys. Holy shit, someone has an AIM email. There's 2 AOL email addresses here.
Dude, they're more common than you think.
I mean, maybe
I know. They're at work where I do tech service. There is a whole thing we have where we have to prepare when we're calling AOL people.
But that's adults. These are people who are talking about Buffy. Like, we are not grown up.
I know. It's weird. Guys, can you send us, like, your age? I really want to know.
I suspect it's like a spam email account that they don't want to receive a bunch of...
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah, like here's some other people you should follow on Patreon.
My spam account is on a Yahoo address because, no one takes Yahoo seriously.
We should buy a domain, spam bullshit dump account.
Spam bullshit. No, you want something that's really short, so we have to make that an acronym. SBD.
I kind of want it to be very obvious for the people who are sending us marketing emails.
Yeah,
like, but... money at spam bullshit account, like, I'm wasting my time.
The reason you want it short is because you have to type it in to forms a lot.
Okay.
Anyway, so...
Alright, guys, welcome. Make sure, for those of you... We're having another Unsobered yesterday, which is 2 weeks in the future when you guys are hearing this, so
Yay.
That's not helpful. And guys, sorry this is a short episode, but we already talked about it once, and yeah, we rage quit, so... And
also, it's not 2 separate episodes, it's kind of like one long episode.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, we're glad to be back. Season 6/Season 3 is starting, and I'm kind of excited because I feel like the show has grown up and there's a lot of shit to do. So, yeah.
Yep.
We love you guys. Bye!
Bye!
Unspoiled Network podcast.